Welcome in. Last week we did the Philadelphia Phillies. This week we're going to be predicting the lineup and rotation of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Let's get into the video. So we do this in a tier list style. I just have the 1 through 9 in the lineup. I've got rotation. I've got bench bats. I'm going to flip these around so that we have the hitters on the top, and then we just have the rotation on the bottom. I might actually start with the rotation. Might start from the bottom up because the pitching is the most interesting part about this whole thing. A lot of injuries to be talked about. So we can start with their new toy, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Big $300 million guy. He's obviously going to be probably their mainstay. Their ace probably this year in that rotation. They've brought in Tyler Glass now to be that guy as well. See how many innings they get out of him this year because he's never really thrown a lot. Ohtani, not in the rotation. He's coming off of Tommy John. He's just having Tommy John surgery now. He will not be pitching this year. Tony Gonsolin's another guy who was injured. And needless to say, this team has injuries in the rotation. I think I was able to narrow it down enough though, however. Emmett Sheehan, who I believe was part of the rotation last year. We have Bobby Miller, who's in there as well. And then they have Ryan Yarbrough on their team, so I guess he kind of slots in as their 5 right now. Other than that, it's like Gavin Stone or something like that. I think probably run a 6-man. There's probably another young guy they can put in there somewhere as well. But for now, this is kind of the 5 that I see at least to start the year. Once he gets back though, however, which is going to be part of the way through the year, Walker Buehler will be inserted in there. I didn't have his picture up here, but Walker Buehler will be inserted in there as well. A special thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Private Internet Access. A virtual private network, or a VPN, is an app that hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. Watching Sentry 17 videos without PIA is like tuning on to 24/7 coverage, but you can only follow a fraction of the news. Private Internet Access is the world's most transparent VPN provider with over 30 million downloads. They never record or store user data. This VPN works with all major streaming services as well, and it is available in all platforms. You can also protect an unlimited amount of devices at the same time. Plus, setting up a connection and establishing a server is super easy. By using the link in the description, viewers can grab 83% off discount. Yes, 83%. Plus 4 extra months free by using the link in the description. It's risk-free and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. And 24/7 customer support is always available. So again, use the link in the description to get 83% off and 4 free months of PIA. A special thanks to Private Internet Access for sponsoring today's video. Now let's head to the lineup because this is probably the more fun part of this exercise. The pitching is there's not much more to say. It's an injured and very depleted rotation. A lot of new players on this team as well on the hitting side. Lead off, I don't think that there's any question that Mookie will not be there. He's the mainstay. He's the guy who led off the game a lot with home runs for them. Kind of that catalyst. And I think that they kind of want to stay with this Freddie in the 2. And they can because they can. They're the Dodgers. Because I think Will Smith in the 3, again, even though Ohtani's on this team, makes the most sense. Because then you go righty, lefty, righty, and yes, you guessed it, Ohtani in the cleanup gives you a lefty there. Ohtani hasn't cleaned up a ton, and he's mostly like been in that 2-3 spot most of his career. Hitting in the 4 now, being like protection for Will Smith is going to be really nice. The 5 is where it's going to start to get a little tricky now. I think this is where they brought in Teoscar Hernandez to be. Teoscar's probably playing left field for this team, I would assume so. And you can keep that righty, lefty, righty, or left, yeah, you know what I mean. Every other type of thing. They have underperforming players on this team for sure. Mookie probably will be playing second base, so he'll probably have T.O. in right field. In the 6, I guess you go with Max Muncy, on base king, kind of a nice spot to put him, RBI guy. He's probably playing third base for this team, I'd assume. This is where I would put James Outman. He had a really nice rookie year last year. And I think if you can kind of keep this continuity going, this is where it's going to be breaking up. You got back-to-back lefties here, but it's just kind of how it's going to be. In the 8, let's go ahead and let's put Gavin Lux there for now. Coming off of an injury, I believe he's going to be there to start this year. Freak injury last spring training, though. And then we would go to Chris Taylor, Manny Margot, one of those two. Probably Margot. Well, no, not in this chase. So I guess Chris Taylor in the 9. Something doesn't seem right about that because he just hasn't played super well ever since getting his contract. So if I think about it now, catcher first, second right there. Third base. Shortstop would be Gavin Lux. Center field, right field, left field. Yeah, that works. Ohtani is the DH. Defensively, this team will be fine, but nothing special. Probably pretty mid. When you think about the bench, Austin Barnes is probably still going to be their backup catcher. He's been there for forever now. Miguel Rojas, being that other infielder, is nice too. And you have Jason Hayward, and you have Manny Margot. However, I think they brought in Manny Margot to kind of platoon with James Outman. So that's why I think that they're kind of be the interchangeable parts. Outman was great. I don't really know why they would, unless they think about putting Manny Margot in like left field or something. Then they can do something with Chris Taylor, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think there is where it makes the most sense. Hayward probably platoons as well. well with probably Chris Taylor at that point. And then I don't know if they platoon as much with Gavin Lux because he's kind of more of an everyday guy, even though he's coming off of an injury. So I guess we could put Miggy Rojas there as well. Bottom part of the lineup is where the interchangeable parts start to come in quite a bit. But overall, that's kind of where I see this lineup going. If I had to predict an opening day one, it probably looks something like this. Let me know what you guys think.